Welcome to War Bios, the podcast where we delve into the lives of history's greatest military minds. I'm your host, General Biography, and today we're going to explore the fascinating story of Joachim Murat, one of Napoleon's most trusted and flamboyant generals. Born on March 25, 1767, in La Bastide-Fortunière, a small village nestled in the rolling hills of the Gascony region of southwestern France, Murat would rise from humble beginnings to become a Marshal of France and King of Naples. The verdant valleys, rustic villages, and fertile farmland of this rural landscape would shape Murat's formative years and instill in him a strong sense of regional identity. His family, though not wealthy, was respectable and had a long history of producing soldiers and public servants. Joachim's father, Pierre Murat Jordi, was an innkeeper and a former cavalryman who had served in the French army during the War of the Austrian Succession. He would later become the mayor of La Bastide-Fortunière, a position that brought a sense of dignity and responsibility to the family. Young Joachim was the eldest of 4 siblings, and his childhood was marked by a strict upbringing and a strong emphasis on education. He attended the local school in La Bastide-Fortunière, where he demonstrated a keen intellect and a passion for learning. The school's curriculum included Latin, mathematics, and history, which would later serve as the foundation for Murat's military career. His teachers, including the village priest, recognized his potential and encouraged him to pursue higher education. In 1783, at the age of 16, Murat enrolled in the Pensionnat de l'École Militaire in Toulouse, a prestigious boarding school that prepared young men for military service. The school's rigorous curriculum included mathematics, physics, and military tactics, as well as sports such as fencing and horsemanship. Murat excelled in his studies and developed a strong sense of discipline and camaraderie with his fellow students. During his time at the pensionnat, Murat was heavily influenced by the writings of Enlightenment thinkers such as Rousseau and Voltaire, who emphasized the importance of reason, individual liberty, and social justice. These ideas would later shape his views on politics and society and inform his decisions as a military leader. In 1787, Murat graduated from the pensionnat and was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Chasseurs de Guen, a cavalry regiment stationed in the town of Gray in eastern France. This marked the beginning of his military career, which would take him to the battlefields of Europe and beyond. The Gascony region, where Murat grew up, was known for its rich cultural heritage and its proud tradition of producing skilled horsemen. The rolling hills, fertile valleys, and rustic villages of the region would later inspire Murat's love of cavalry warfare and his reputation as one of the greatest horsemen in European history. As the French Revolution gained momentum, Murat found himself at the forefront of the action. In 1792, he joined the National Guard and quickly distinguished himself in the early battles against the Royalist forces. His bravery and tactical prowess caught the attention of his superiors, and by 1796 he had risen to the rank of captain in the Army of Italy. It was during this period that Murat first met Napoleon Bonaparte, who would become his mentor and close friend. The two men shared a passion for military strategy and a vision for a new France, free from the shackles of monarchy and aristocracy. As Napoleon's star continued to rise, Murat remained by his side, serving as his aide-de-camp and playing a crucial role in many of his victories. One of the most significant battles of this period was the Battle of Castiglione, fought on August 5, 1796. Murat led a daring cavalry charge that broke through the Austrian lines, allowing the French army to claim a decisive victory. This battle marked a turning point in Murat's career, as he gained recognition and admiration from Napoleon and the rest of the army. As the years passed, Murat continued to prove himself as a skilled and fearless commander. He fought alongside Napoleon in Egypt, where he distinguished himself at the Battle of Aboukir, and later in Europe, where he played a key role in the Battle of Austerlitz. This latter battle, fought on December 2, 1805, is often regarded as one of the greatest military victories in history, with Murat's cavalry charge once again proving decisive. In 1804, Napoleon appointed Murat as the Marshal of France, a position that carried immense prestige and responsibility. As Marshal, Murat was tasked with leading the Imperial Guard, an elite corps of soldiers handpicked by Napoleon himself. This appointment marked the pinnacle of Murat's military career, and he would go on to serve as one of Napoleon's most trusted advisors. Murat's personal life also underwent significant changes during this period. In 1800, he married Caroline Bonaparte, Napoleon's younger sister, in a lavish ceremony at the Tuileries Palace. This union cemented Murat's ties to the Bonaparte family and further solidified his position within the French aristocracy. He possessed a unique combination of charisma, intelligence, and strategic genius, which allowed him to navigate the complex web of alliances and rivalries within the French court. Moreover, his unwavering loyalty to Napoleon and the Bonaparte family earned him a reputation as one of the most trusted and reliable generals in the French army. In 1808, Napoleon appointed Murat as the King of Naples, a position that carried immense power and responsibility. As king, Murat was tasked with governing the kingdom, implementing reforms, and maintaining order in the region. He proved to be a capable leader, introducing various reforms aimed at modernizing the Neapolitan state and economy. One notable example is his efforts to improve the kingdom's infrastructure, including the construction of new roads, bridges, and canals. However, Murat's reign was not without its challenges. He faced opposition from the local nobility, who resented his attempts to reduce their power and influence. Additionally, the British Navy posed a significant threat to Naples, as they sought to disrupt French control over the Mediterranean. Despite these obstacles, Murat remained committed to his role as king and worked tirelessly to maintain stability in the region. One of the most notable events during Murat's reign was his involvement in the Peninsular War. In 1812, he led a Neapolitan army into Spain, with the aim of supporting Napoleon's forces against the British and Spanish armies. Although the campaign ultimately ended in defeat, Murat's bravery and tactical prowess earned him recognition from his peers. Murat's personal life also underwent significant changes during this period. His relationship with Caroline Bonaparte, Napoleon's sister, became increasingly strained. The couple's marriage had been arranged by Napoleon, and over time, they grew apart. Caroline's increasing influence over Murat's decisions, particularly with regards to his loyalty to Napoleon, created tension in their relationship. As the tide of the Napoleonic Wars began to turn against France, Murat found himself facing a difficult decision. In 1814, as Allied forces closed in on Paris, Murat was forced to choose between his loyalty to Napoleon and his duty to protect his kingdom. Ultimately, he chose to sign a treaty with the Austrians, agreeing to switch sides and join the coalition against Napoleon. This decision would prove to be a fatal mistake. When Napoleon escaped from Elba in 1815, Murat saw an opportunity to redeem himself and joined forces with his former emperor. However, their efforts were ultimately unsuccessful, and Murat was forced to flee for his life. He attempted to regain his throne in Naples, but was defeated at the Battle of Tolentino on May 3, 1815. The final days of Murat's life were marked by tragedy and defeat. He was captured by the Austrians and put on trial for treason. Despite his pleas for clemency, he was found guilty and sentenced to death by firing squad. On October 13, 1815, Joachim Murat, once one of the most powerful men in Europe, stood before a firing squad in the town of Pizzo, Italy, and met his end. His bravery, charisma, and strategic genius earned him a reputation as one of the greatest cavalry commanders in history. However, his flaws, including his impulsiveness and lack of political acumen, ultimately led to his downfall. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm General Biography reminding you to keep marching toward victory.